Welcome back to Dinar Daily Buzz. If you are watching this update right now, pause every distraction because today's story is creating one of the loudest shockwaves this community has seen in years. What surfaced online over the past several hours has ignited global discussion and confusion, leaving analysts scrambling, holders buzzing, and financial commentators trying to determine what is real, what is speculation, and what carries legitimate weight. According to rapidly spreading reports, circulating documents claim that the U.S. Treasury has acknowledged a 1.1 value for the Iraqi Dinar in a government-controlled exchange scenario. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, let us be absolutely clear, this claim is not verified, not confirmed by any official U.S. or Iraqi authority, and not recognized as active monetary policy. But the reason this story has exploded worldwide is because of how detailed, structured, and coordinated the claim appears, enough to make even seasoned observers stop and examine its implications. What makes this situation different from previous rumors is the way this alleged recognition rate is being described. Online sources insist that the figure is tied to a restricted government-only internal accounting rate, not a public Forex value. If that sounds familiar, it is because the financial world uses such internal benchmarks for specific government-to-government transactions. Again, this does not mean a public revaluation has occurred, but the reason the claim is causing intense reactions is because internal rates often reflect broader economic confidence assessments behind the scenes. As analysts rush to evaluate the situation, the biggest question being asked today is simple: why would such a rate appear even in an internal context if not tied to a larger strategic shift? For years, discussion surrounding the dinar hovered between skepticism and cautious optimism. Every supposed breakthrough in the past usually collapsed under the weight of missing details or unreliable sources. Today's circulating claim, however, is different because it presents a full framework: controlled exchanges, regulated channels, staged rollouts, and bank-driven infrastructure preparations. None of this is officially confirmed, but the level of detail has forced analysts to take a deeper look at why the rumor exists and what conditions inside Iraq might have sparked its creation. Whether true or not, the fact that such a structured scenario is gaining traction reflects a growing global belief that Iraq's currency future is evolving faster than previously expected. A major talking point in the circulating story involves the idea of government-approved exchange pathways designed to eliminate unsafe brokers and establish legal transparent procedures. This concept aligns with real-world financial practices used in countries undergoing currency reforms. While there is no active U.S. or Iraqi policy matching this, the narrative taps into legitimate economic strategies currently being explored in Iraq, including digital banking modernization, anti-fraud protocols, and expanded international compliance. These real reforms give the rumor just enough believability to spread rapidly through investment circles. The global reaction has been intense. Holders are calling it the moment they have waited years to see. Market observers are calling it a possible preview of where Iraq's economic trajectory might be headed. Analysts staying grounded are urging caution and reminding everyone that unverified claims can spread faster than official corrections. But even with caution, one thing is clear: the level of global interest in Iraq's currency has never been higher. Every major rumor, true or false, now triggers massive engagement because the world sees Iraq taking real economic steps toward modernization, reduction of corruption, banking stability, and increased foreign investment. One key element that continues to dominate discussion is the meaning of the alleged 1.1 benchmark in the circulating narrative. It is described not as a Forex rate, but as a government-to-government parity value used for restricted transactions. If such a number were ever real, which currently it is not, it would represent a dramatic shift on international confidence. But in reality, official rates are still controlled by the Central Bank of Iraq, and no public revaluation has been announced. The reason this claim gains such momentum is because it reflects a long-running global expectation. Sooner or later, Iraq's improved economic foundation may lead to adjustments in its currency's formal status. The rumor also discusses preparation requirements for holders, from organizing physical notes to verifying digital holdings. While these steps are smart for general financial organization, no official exchange program currently requires them. Still, many advisors agree that documenting your holdings, keeping identification ready, and avoiding unauthorized brokers are always smart financial precautions, regardless of whether any major event takes place. Timing speculation is also fueling the fire. Some reports claim that banks need weeks or months to prepare infrastructure for controlled exchanges. In truth, any genuine currency reform would involve carefully planned phases, system testing, appointment scheduling, and security protocols. These processes are real components of legitimate global currency transitions. But again, there is no official timeline, no confirmed rollout, and no recognized schedule. What exists today is only a rumor reflecting what a future scenario might look like, not what is happening now. One reason this story refuses to die is because Iraq has indeed upgraded its banking networks at a rapid pace. Digital verification systems, anti-counterfeit technology, international banking compliance, and modernized electronic platforms have all advanced significantly over the past 2 years. These real upgrades have made it easier for rumors about exchange readiness to gain credibility. People see progress inside Iraq and assume a dramatic financial event must be close, but modernization does not equal revaluation. Upgrades simply reflect Iraq's push toward modern banking standards, not a confirmed exchange program. Another core part of the rumor focuses on approved banks being the only entities allowed to handle exchanges. Officially, this is true in the general sense. Only licensed institutions can legally process foreign currency transactions. This has always been the case. What the rumor adds without verification is the idea of a restricted structured rollout for dinar holders. While such a system could theoretically exist in a real revaluation scenario, there is currently zero confirmation that any such program is in motion. The rumor further claims that the exchange process will unfold in waves with scheduled appointments and documented verification stages. Analysts note that if Iraq ever implemented a major monetary adjustment, such a structured system would make sense to prevent chaos. But again, no such program is officially active today. This remains hypothetical. One key element that continues to dominate conversation in this fictionalized rumor cycle is the meaning behind the so-called 1.1 benchmark, a number that within speculative circles has taken on a life of its own. According to the circulating narrative, this figure is framed not as a public forex rate, nor as a value that anyone outside of government channels would realistically interact with, but rather as a theoretical government-to-government parity indicator used exclusively for controlled or restricted transactions. In the rumor, it is described as the internal signal that international systems are aligning and that regulatory agencies have supposedly reached a shared valuation for the dinar. Yet, it is crucial to emphasize that no such number has been confirmed by any financial authority and no official governmental documentation has ever stated that a 1.1 parity rate exists in real systems today. If a number like that were ever real, again, in a purely hypothetical sense, it would signify a dramatic boost in international confidence in Iraq's monetary stability and economic output. But the reality remains unchanged. The Central Bank of Iraq still sets the official exchange rate and no revaluation has been declared. The reason a rumor like this gains momentum is that it taps into a broader expectation that someday, as Iraq's economic foundation strengthens, some adjustment might occur. That expectation, however, does not turn rumor into fact. Another recurring element of the narrative concerns supposed preparation requirements for dinar holders, specifically advice circulating about organizing physical notes, cataloging denominations, photographing serial numbers, or verifying any digital holdings linked to online brokers. In the rumor ecosystem, these steps are portrayed as mandatory prerequisites for a future structured exchange event, with some commentators insisting that those who fail to prepare may be excluded from early exchange windows. Yet, in reality, no official body, no recognized financial institution, and no regulatory agency has issued any guidelines requiring dinar holders to take such steps. Still, financial advisors often point out that basic organization is wise under any circumstances, regardless of whether revaluation ever occurs. Keeping records of your assets, storing notes securely, ensuring identification documents are valid, safeguarding receipts, and dealing only with authorized institutions are prudent practices in general financial management. These habits help protect individuals from fraud, loss, or confusion, and they apply to virtually every asset class, not just speculative currency holdings. The misunderstanding arises when practical common sense preparation is misinterpreted as evidence of an imminent event. In truth, what people are hearing and repeating is simply a blend of hypothetical caution and routine personal finance advice, not a set of official directives tied to any verified program. Speculation about timing has become one of the most powerful drivers keeping the rumor alive. Some voices claim that banks need extended preparation windows, sometimes weeks, sometimes months, to calibrate internal systems, test exchange platforms, and configure security protocols that would supposedly support a future controlled rollout. While it is accurate that genuine currency reforms anywhere in the world do involve coordinated phases, technical testing, structured appointment scheduling, and compliance checks, none of that indicates that such a process is underway today for the Iraqi dinar. What many people are responding to is a blend of legitimate knowledge about how global currency transitions generally work and a desire to interpret ordinary system upgrades as signs of an approaching event. In reality, if Iraq ever decided to adjust its currency value, international institutions would follow a tightly regulated path involving notifications, central bank coordination, software updates, and legal review. These things take time and follow a predictable order. Yet, no official timeline exists today. No central authority has announced a schedule and no multilateral body has acknowledged that preparations are in progress. What exists right now is only a rumor, one that offers a theoretical outline of how a future event might unfold, but not evidence that it is unfolding. Part of the reason this story continues to circulate so persistently is that Iraq has indeed modernized its banking infrastructure at an impressive pace over the past few years. These improvements are real and verifiable: updated digital verification systems, enhanced anti-counterfeit measures, new international compliance protocols, improved electronic banking platforms, and increased participation in global financial reporting standards. Such upgrades demonstrate Iraq's intention to align with international norms and to strengthen its financial reputation. However, progress in technology does not automatically imply a currency revaluation or an imminent exchange program. Many observers mistakenly conflate modernization with readiness for a major reset, assuming that new equipment or updated software must be preparing for a dramatic event. Yet, modernization is simply what responsible central banks do as part of routine national development. Iraq's banking advances show commitment to transparency, efficiency, and security, not confirmation of a revaluation. The confusion arises because when people see real progress, they often attach speculative meaning to it, interpreting normal improvements as coded signals. In truth, while modern systems make a future revaluation possible from a logistical standpoint, they do not indicate that such an event is scheduled or approved. Another central aspect of the rumor focuses on which institutions would be permitted to participate in a hypothetical exchange event. The claim frequently asserts that only pre-approved or specially authorized banks will be allowed to process dinar transactions. In reality, any legitimate currency exchange, whether involving the dinar or any other national currency, must be conducted through licensed institutions regulated by the relevant monetary authorities. That has always been the case and it is nothing new or unusual. What the rumor adds without any credible evidence is the idea that a restricted structured rollout specifically for dinar holders has already been planned or is currently being prepared. This includes fictional lists of authorized centers, secret appointment procedures, or designated facilities supposedly standing by in anticipation of a mass exchange event. While such structures could theoretically exist in the context of a real revaluation, there is no evidence that any such system is active today. The rumor thrives by blending a genuine legal principle that only licensed banks can handle exchanges with imaginary implementation details that have never been verified. The final piece of the circulating narrative often emphasizes a wave-based exchange system where appointments, verification stages, and staggered processing windows would be implemented to prevent chaos. From a logistical standpoint, if Iraq ever conducted a major monetary adjustment, such a structured approach would indeed be practical. Nations undergoing currency transitions frequently use phased rollouts to ensure security, system stability, and orderly participation. Verification would be required to prevent fraud. Appointments would be needed to manage traffic, and staged execution would protect liquidity. However, acknowledging that such a structure could exist does not mean it does exist now. No central bank has announced it, no regulatory framework has been published, and no financial institution has confirmed participation in such a program. The current rumor is therefore a theoretical model of what a future event might look like rather than a reflection of real-time events. At present, what people are discussing is a speculative outline of how things might unfold, not a documented plan, not a confirmed operation, and not an active system waiting in the background. In short, this remains a hypothetical scenario rather than an imminent reality. Despite all the unknowns, one undeniable reality is the growing international interest in Iraq's financial future. Investors see a country stabilizing, modernizing, and building new economic relationships. Global organizations observe ongoing reforms meant to strengthen Iraq's financial integrity. These real developments create an environment where any rumor about currency movement spreads like wildfire because the world senses that Iraq's long-term trajectory is shifting upward. As this story continues circulating, the most important message for holders is simple: rely only on official announcements, avoid any unauthorized exchange offers, stay informed, stay cautious, stay grounded. Unverified claims can create excitement, but they can also attract scammers seeking to take advantage of confusion. Until official authorities issue clear public statements, everything circulating online remains a rumor, even if it appears detailed or coordinated. Still, one thing remains true: the global conversation around Iraq's financial future has reached a new level of intensity. Whether today's story is a misunderstanding, a leaked internal document, or simply another speculative wave, it reflects the world's growing belief that Iraq is entering a new economic era. The journey has been long, the challenges are many, but the direction points toward continued modernization and progress. Despite all the unknowns surrounding the latest wave of speculation, one undeniable reality stands out: international interest in Iraq's financial future is steadily increasing, and the world is paying closer attention to the country's economic direction than at any point in the past decade. Investors, policymakers, and global observers all recognize that Iraq has been moving through a long-term stabilization phase marked by infrastructure rebuilding, regulatory strengthening, and strategic engagement with international partners. This real economic progress has created a new environment where even the faintest hint of currency-related news spreads at tremendous speed because it fits into a broader narrative of growth and modernization. That does not mean a revaluation is happening now, nor does it confirm any rumored benchmarks or private rates. What it does mean is that Iraq's reputation on the global stage is shifting, and when a nation demonstrates measurable improvement, whether through banking reforms, digital modernization, increased trade partnerships, or anti-corruption initiatives, speculation tends to follow. People see headlines about improved financial systems and assume a dramatic event must be imminent even though such leaps are not supported by official announcements. This dynamic, real progress paired with exaggerated expectation, creates a perfect environment for rumors to thrive and circulate, especially among communities that have been watching Iraq's currency for many years. As this story continues circulating across social media posts, group chats, and speculative forums, The most important message for current or prospective dinar holders remains surprisingly straightforward. Rely only on official announcements, avoid unauthorized exchange offers and maintain a grounded, cautious perspective. The reason this advice is repeated so often is that unverified claims, even when they appear detailed, coordinated, or presented with confidence, carry significant risks. Scammers frequently take advantage of emotionally charged environments, especially when people believe they might be on the cusp of a financial opportunity. Unauthorized brokers may attempt to lure individuals into premature trades, false buybacks, or personal information scams disguised as early access opportunities. By keeping documentation in order, using only licensed financial institutions, and monitoring public statements directly from recognized authorities such as the Central Bank of Iraq or official government channels, individuals protect themselves from becoming targets. Excitement can be natural when rumors intensify, but excitement must never replace caution. Until an official body issues clear, public unverifiable instructions about any form of exchange, everything else circulating, no matter how compelling, remains firmly in the realm of rumor. Staying informed while remaining skeptical is the safest path for anyone navigating narratives like these. Still, despite the uncertainty and the need for caution, one truth remains clear: the global conversation surrounding Iraq's financial future has reached a new level of intensity, drawing attention from analysts who once overlooked the country entirely. Whether today's circulating story is the result of a misunderstanding, a misinterpreted internal document, a mistranslated news report, or simply another cycle of speculative excitement, it reflects a broader shift in how the world views Iraq's economic direction. Over the past several years, Iraq has steadily modernized its banking system, expanded its digital financial infrastructure, improved compliance with international standards, and strengthened its regulatory frameworks. These developments signal genuine progress and the world has taken notice. Iraq's long journey marked by significant challenges, political shifts, and economic rebuilding appears to be moving toward a period of increasing stability and modernization. This does not guarantee a revaluation, nor does it validate any of the claims currently circulating, but it does explain why speculation arises so easily and spreads so quickly. People sense that Iraq is evolving and they naturally wonder what changes might come next. For now, the most accurate statement is that Iraq is continuing its trajectory of progress. And while rumors may ebb and flow, the real story is the country's ongoing commitment to strengthening its economic foundation. This moment, rumor or not, will spark discussion for days. And, as always, this channel will track every official update, every confirmed statement, and every verified development so that holders remain informed, protected, and prepared. Stay focused, stay cautious, and stay ready. The next chapter of Iraq's financial story is still unfolding, and we will cover every step of it as it happens.